Can you just briefly describe what CRF is and what Capped CRF is for people who may not know?
CRF, so we are talking about constraint rate factor?
Constant rate factor.
Constant rate factor, right. So this is a mode in FFmpeg, which is probably the most popular open source implementation of video codecs out there, where essentially they try and hit a video quality by adjusting the number of bits allocated throughout the video sequence. This is in contrast to CBR, where CBR tries to maintain a certain bit rate by adjusting the video quality. So you would start off, let's say you start off with an I frame that would get the highest quality. Then your P frames would get the most allocation of bits, and then it would be distributed amongst the B frames, trying to hit your bitrate caps. CRF obviously has to do similar stuff, but it pays a greater emphasis on the quality rather than maintaining a very constant bitrate. So you might see it overshoot. You will see it overshoot, actually. So modification of this is the capped CRF, where you can put a cap and tell CRF, maintain your video quality while not exceeding a particular bitrate by a certain percentage. So this makes it very suitable for ABR streaming. And if somebody asks why to that question, I would say bitrate is, in my understanding, is a contract between the player and the server. So when the players is told that this stream is 5 Mbps, it expects and believes that the server will send 5 megabits per second. Anything more or less by a large amount will cause problems at the player. So it's almost like a contract.
Okay.
CRF will end up violating that contract. Capped CRF, not much, and it provides very good quality.
So for CBR, you would set a bit rate, and then you would set the maximum bit rate, and for CBR, those two would be the same. What do you do in a CRF situation? What's the setting that you use in the command string?
I believe it's the max that you set, the -BV, and then you also mentioned the CRF setting.
Right.
So FFmpeg has the CRF setting where 0 is almost lossless, pristine quality, which no human can make out, I would say. And 51 is really poor. Typically in practice, we have gone between 20 and 25. And this is through just GoldenEye testing and VMAF scores, where we realize certain genres don't require 18, 17. We didn't see any difference on a mobile phone. So this is why I kind of go back to the business side of things, where you understand the geography you're streaming at, the devices you're streaming to. And if you realize that 95% is going to be consuming on an Android phone, there just isn't a lot they will make out if you change your CRF setting from 24 to 25. You might save a lot on your CDN bills and your storage bills, but you're not harming the user experience at all.
Yeah, you and I talked about this issue just, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. I gave a presentation at Mile High Video earlier this week, and I sent you some 2-pass VBR encodes, and you said, well, it looks great, but you're doubling your encoding cost. And then you relayed your experience where you use Capped CRF with a CRF value of 25, I believe, and then the maximum setting. That turned out, it was a really, thank you for that, because it was a really interesting portion of the presentation. But we did, the overall VMAF scores were about the same. The encoding time was cut in half. There were some variability issues. I sent you that data, but overall, it seemed like a pretty good strategy.